This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by Tommy Fury today. It's been a while, Tommy. Last time I saw you under very different circumstances in Las Vegas. How have you been keeping?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different environment than Vegas, but, you know, we're here, we're alive, we're well, so that's all we can thank God for, really, at the end of the day. And yeah, we're just here in the bubble ahead of the fight on Friday. Cannot wait. It's been a long time coming, 12 months out of the ring, so it's time to shake off the cobwebs.
Let's just touch upon that. Obviously, it's been 12 months out of the ring. You have made significant changes to your setup since then. You're now being trained by Sugar Hill, trainer of WBC heavyweight champion, your brother, Tyson. How has that change been, and what can we expect to see from you under Sugar Hill?
So it was good, to be fair. It was a very good change. Obviously, Sugar's, for my opinion, having trained with him now, is definitely one of the, well, I think the leading trainer in the world, if I, saying it rightly. Because the stuff that he teaches, I've never seen, in real life. I've never seen on the internet. I've never seen it anywhere else. It was kind of the sort of training where you had to step back and, assess it for a day or two before it really sank in, because it was that mad. But having trained and having the privilege to train with him and around Tyson as well, you pick up a lot of different stuff, and I've just added to my game. Everything that Sugar's taught me and, teaching me, I just keep storing it. So it's been a privilege to get a bit of time in with Sugar.
We did an interview with your dad a few weeks ago, and he referred to Sugar Hill as a destroyer of men. He said that he trains men to destroy other men. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, very fair assessment. With Sugar, he's got that Kronk style, and they definitely don't go to points, I'll tell you that. It's all about getting the knockout and making the knockout look good, not just getting it through wild punches, setting the knockout out. And that's what he teaches, It's not just to go in there and land big bombs, it's to land the little shots and then the big shots following up behind it. Everything with Sugar is calculated and, really thought about. So at the end of the day, he is what he is, and that's a top-class, world-class trainer.
Now, you've obviously used that time well and learned and gone to work under Sugar Hill in that period of time, but you are from boxing stock, royal boxing stock, we should say. Not ideal to be out of the ring for this level of time at this stage of your career. Is that a fair comment? Yeah,
of course. Yeah, it's not ideal. But then again, what we got to think about is, nothing about this year has been as ideal for anybody. It is what it is. And like I said before, as long as we're healthy and our families are all right, that's all we can really hope for, because the way the world's going, we really don't know what's coming next. And if all my worries, about when I'm going to get in the ring next, it's not so bad, is it really? Because family could be getting ill, family could be dying, as we've seen, people around us suffer that. So at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I'm here. I'm here now. I've trained hard for this. I'm in tip-top shape and, got the all clear this morning. So I'm happy.
Just talk to me a little bit about your dad. Now, your dad, obviously, we've seen him in the past. He's not short of a word or two. He's not shy of giving his opinion when he feels like it's warranted. How's the dynamic been with working with him as well as Sugar Hill for this fight?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, my dad's a world-class trainer as well, in my opinion. My dad knows what he's on about. He's been in the job more than enough years. So, having the two mixed together, I think it's the best of both worlds, to be fair. You really can't go wrong. And having my dad's advice and Sugar's advice go together, it just it gels perfectly. And, I'm taking everything on board, what they're both saying to me.
Last couple of weeks, last week and a half, Mr. Wilder has returned from wherever he's been for the last 8 months and said some pretty outlandish things. I know that you would have seen the video. Just your thoughts on it, Tommy.
You can't really comment on the stuff that he's coming out with, because it is honestly ludicrous. At first, off the top of my head, is what I can remember. He said his trainer spiked his water. He said that his costume was too heavy for him. He said that Tyson had some in his gloves. All these excuses on as to why he lost the fight. As a man and as a world champion and as a role model to a lot of people in America, you should go about your business a bit differently. He lost the fight fair and square. Everybody that knows boxing, yourself and everybody around it, knows that Jay Diaz was there when he was getting his hand wrapped and putting his gloves on. Jay Diaz felt his hands like this for about 10 minutes, and he said, right, yep, they're good to go. And having put the gloves on and strapped on and all that, you can't take them back off alone. You can't have 10 minutes by yourself in the bathroom. It doesn't work like that. The state commissioner are always there by your side. They never leave you until you get in the ring. So I don't know where he's coming out with all this. And then he's saying his team spiked his water, his team that he's been there with since day one. If he does well, they do well. So why would they want to put him at risk? It just doesn't make any sense of what he's saying. Now, if I was Deontay Wilder, I'd go about my business in a different way. I'd say, yeah, I lost fair and square. He was a better man on the night. Let me go back in the gym and try and improve. But obviously that's not the way people are. I don't really get it, with the excuse making, because no matter what you come out with or what you say, you still lost the fight. It's not going to resurrect the decision or, turn the decision in your favour. So stop making a fool of yourself and just get on with it. You lost the fight, end of. Go back to the gym, try and improve and come again. Don't be coming out with all these silly antics that obviously aren't true. But, that's for another day, I guess. I don't really know what he's going to do from here. But I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Tyson's already come out and said that he worries for Deontay Wilder's mental health. I mean, you're a well-adjusted. You have a good head on your shoulders. What could you potentially? Is this just to cover on the fact that he lost, or where could this potentially come from?
I don't know, but it's a good point by Tyson. You do have to worry about his mental health when they're coming out with all that, rubbish. Because why on earth would you come out with all that stuff, for a boxing fight, and he did ship a lot of punishment. And as he said, he's got a dent there or, something on his skull. So, I hope and I touch wood that nothing is, wrong with him. But boxing is a dangerous sport. And when you've got a 19-stone man hitting you repeatedly in the head, of course, that's not going to be good for you. It's not going to have a good effect on you. So you honestly, at this moment in time, don't know what's wrong with him. You wouldn't know because, it's a dangerous sport, and the way he's coming out with things, it's ludicrous. It's not even it couldn't even half make sense to you, the stuff that he's saying. It's odd, very odd. But I don't know. He just needs to, sit back and really analyse what he's saying and putting out there before he puts it out there, I think.
Do you think he can come again? Obviously, it looks as though the boat has been missed well and truly for the trilogy fight. There's been talk about potentially Andy Ruiz at some point next year. Do you think Wilder can come again?
With Wilder's power, I think he can always come again. With that kind of devastating power, whatever he touches, it goes to sleep. He's shown that in every fight he's had. So, for me, yeah, of course he can come again, but long after Tyson's gone. I think Tyson's is, I know Tyson's his bogeyman. Tyson's the man that he can't beat, he won't ever beat, because Tyson's just a better fighter than him. It's just an easy statement to say, just a better fighter. There's no way two ways around that. And he's not going to get away from that. But yeah, once Tyson's retired and not boxing anymore, if he decides to stay around, I think he could dominate it, because I don't see anybody out there beating Wilder except for Tyson. If Tyson wasn't in the equation, I do have Wilder as, the top heavyweight, because he possesses that power to touch you. He just, like he always says, just needs 2 seconds, and if he clips you, it is over. So I always think that Wilder can come again, yeah.
Style-wise, what's the difference? This is sort of quite a general question, but potentially people won't, know the answer. What's the difference, in your opinion, style-wise, between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua for Tyson?
I think Wilder is definitely the more dangerous fight for Tyson. I always have said that, because with Wilder, cliche, his punches are very wild, and you don't know where they're coming from. They could be coming from here, they could be coming from down there, it could be coming from here. You just don't know. He's a very unorthodox fighter. Whereas Joshua, every fight he has been the same. He's here, he comes forward, he throws the 1-2 and a hook, he stays very tight, he keeps composed like this. And it's very easy to train for someone like that, because he doesn't really do anything that different in every fight, and take me out of him. It's worked for him very well. He's a great fighter, but there's just a difference between being a great fighter and, an elite fighter. And it was the same with Canelo Alvarez and Mayweather. Canelo Alvarez was a great, great fighter, even at that young age of 22, but Mayweather was just that league ahead. And that's the same thing that I see with Tyson and Joshua. I see Joshua and Wilder giving a great fight, but then I see Tyson and Joshua just being a shutout. I just don't see Joshua getting into that fight at all. And that's my opinion. And it always has been. I've always said that I think Joshua will be Tyson's easiest fight. But then if Wilder and Joshua fought, I reckon Wilder would probably knock Joshua out inside 6 rounds, because Joshua doesn't have the head movement of Tyson. So if you don't have head movement of that caliber against Wilder, I'm afraid you're going to sleep.
Now, we've got Anthony Joshua returning in December against Kubrat Pulev. We're waiting for confirmation of Tyson's bout, allegedly, against Ajit Kabayel in December the 5th. Provided, all being well, they come through both of those fights unscathed, it's a very real possibility we're getting this undisputed fight in 2021. How exciting is that, and how good for the sport is that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that is the fight now what the British public and the sport need. After all these bad months of what's gone on in the world, we all we're owed that fight, and I think that fight will come in 2021, providing the world shapes up and everything gets better. I think we'll see that fight definitely, and for me, it's probably the biggest fight Britain's ever had. We'll ever have 100% by a mile, because you look at the fan base of both of them. The whole world knows who they are, and especially in Britain, it's London versus Manchester. It's all that side versus all this side. It's a great fight, and I'm sure we'll all be very excited to tune in. But when it comes, it's just going to be amazing. The whole build-up, the fight, everything around that, event is just going to be unbelievable. So the real winners there are the fans, 100%.
Now, your dad said that fight has to happen in the UK. Now, I'm not going to disagree with your dad on anything. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, I do. I 100% agree that should be in the UK, because both fighters are from the UK. Can you imagine that fight at a packed out Wembley, 90 or 100,000, people there in attendance? That would be probably the greatest night British boxing's ever seen. And we've seen some, over the years. So I do believe it has to happen in the UK. But then again, we all know that boxing is a very money-oriented sport. Especially at that weight division, they're going to want the most out of the fight, because at the end of the day, the first fight's only going to come around once. So I do believe, wherever the money, the biggest paycheck, that pops up, I think that's where they'll be going. And 100% right to, because they've trained all their life to get to that point, and trained all their life to get, that amount of money. So I reckon, 100%, they should go where the money is, because at the end of the day, they want to set up the families, their kids' families, all that sort of stuff. So why wouldn't you at the end of the day? You've got to think about yourself in boxing, because you're the one in there taking the punches and taking the blows.
Could end up in Las Vegas, Tommy. You're a fixture in Las Vegas now. You're a regular man on the strip.
Yeah, I love Las Vegas. Me and Molly, we always talk about it. We love Las Vegas because even though we're finally just about eligible to drink, because we both just turned 21 in May, we love it even more when we go back there. But yeah, if it's in Vegas, if it's in Manchester, it's in Manchester, London, wherever it's going to be an epic night, and it's going to be a great week, great fight week for Molly, put it that way. Before
I let you go, Tommy, I do appreciate your time in a busy fight week. One thing I wanted to speak to you about is, you're in a very unique position of being from significant boxing stock, but also being a reality TV star. Now, we've seen the boxing world and reality world kind of come together a little bit over the last couple of years. What's your kind of thoughts on the crossover? I know your name's been mentioned as a potential crossover fight or reality versus boxing fight. Your thoughts on the whole situation?
My thoughts is that, me, I'm a fighter. I was fighting before Love Island, way before Love Island. Like I said, from 8 years old, I'm a boxer through and through. And I just went on Love Island for 2 months, come out straight back in the gym. I never went down that reality route, because that's not the route that I wanted to go down. I thought it was a great opportunity and a bit of fun to showcase my name and show people who I really am. And I did that. It was a great way to show everybody who I really am. But I'll come out and make no mistake, I'm a fighter. There is no reality TV. There is no crossover. I'm a fighter through and through. Like there's no two ways about that. I'm not no Jake Paul or, anything like that, trying to make a few quid in boxing because I've got a good following. I don't care. I want to box on normal shows and be a normal fighter and come up the normal way. I want to win British, Commonwealth, European titles. I don't want to just box on a pay-per-view and get loads of money. I'm not about that. I want to earn my stripes in the boxing game. I want to fight good people. And at the end of the day, that's just where a lot of people get mixed up. Look where I'm from. Look at the family I come from. We don't mess around. I don't play boxing. I'm here to break people's faces in. I'm not trying to be a tippy-tappy boxer. When I get in that ring, I'm ready to rip someone's head off because I've been training hard and getting my own head ripped off for the past 12 weeks. So there's no oh, look at me on Instagram, I've got a fight on Friday, everyone tuning in, oh, try and get me to 4 million followers, all that sort of stuff. It's not about that. You know, fighting for me and boxing for me now, it's just a long road that we're going to get down, and earning my stripes properly, gaining the experience. And that's all it is, because a lot of people forget I've only had 10 amateur fights. So I'm not really that experienced, but I'm that experienced in a gym, having trained and sparred a lot of these people, you know, Tyson, all these sparring partners, everything like that. It's just about getting the experience underneath the lights now. And that's what I intend to do. But for me, there is no reality TV matchups. There is no celebrity fights, because I don't believe in that. Boxing's a cruel sport. It's a hard sport. And I'm in it to be a world champion. And all these reality people, they're not in it to be a world champion, not in it to do well. They're in it to get a bit of limelight and try and get themselves back in the media. But for me, that's not an issue, because I'm a Fury, I'm a fighting man, and I'm here to prove it on Friday, and that's just the top end and the bottom of it.
Is it? I say offend. It sounds like a strong word, but I spoke to Vidal Riley as well, as obviously from a YouTube background, but has boxed since he was, 6 years old as well. His dad was a fighter. Does it offend you when you hear stuff from, YouTubers, from other celebrities talking about boxing as professionals, winning professional world titles, that sort of thing?
Not really, because everyone's on their own quest. Everyone's on their own road to whatever they're going to achieve. Whether people want to try and get a big payday for a celebrity fight and use all the followers and little kids to try and get a load of money out of it, whatever route they want to go down, they can go down. I know, my team know what route I'm trying to go down, and we're going to get there. We're not on a route here to be Mr. Famous or Mr. 10 million followers on Instagram. It's not the case of that. I'm thankful for every follower that I've got and every fan and everything that I have now. I'm very thankful for that. And I'm hoping they can come with me all the way. But my main goal is to be a world champion and not to fiddle about on the way, with different little bits of stuff. My career has started way before Love Island, and I'll get there in the end. It just takes hard work and dedication. But I'm going to show everybody what I'm about. And as they can see, if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I'm always in the gym. I'm always training. There's no makeup or lights, camera, action every 24/7 on my story. It's all training, because I am a fighter, and that's it.
Okay, well, Tommy, I've really enjoyed this. This is the first time we've had a chat for any kind of great length of time. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social and giving me your time. Before I let you go, please tell people what to expect when Tommy Fury returns to the ring, finally, new and improved under the great Sugar Hill Steward, this Friday live on BT Sport.
You're going to see slick boxing. You're going to see big shots, and as ever, a big dirty knockout. That's what you come. That's what they pay to see. So everybody sit back. I know you can't be here, but you're going to be there in spirit. So sit back, put BT Sport on, tune in. There's going to be a great night of fights. Get your beers ready and enjoy the night.
Brilliant. You're not a bad little promoter, actually, Tommy.
I'll hopefully take over the business when Frank retires.
Frank's never going to retire.
No.
Tommy Fury, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Best of luck this weekend.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.